Welcome into Drew's Daily Diamond for Friday, June 28th, 2024. I am Drew Martin breaking down the weekend starter here for the Friday slate, getting you on the right side of some of these plays on the diamond. Let me know in the comments below what your MLB picks are for today, for this weekend, where you agree, where you disagree. All is welcome. Smash that like button if you're liking the content, guys, as we head to the Sunshine State. First game up here, heading to the Trop. Tampa Bay Rays hosting the Washington Nationals. Mitchell Parker, the lefty, on the hill for the Nats. Zach Eflin going for the Rays. Minus 150, that's Tampa as the home favorite. 7 in the hook being the total. So a sizable favorite with a low total. My eyes always go towards the dog in that situation. And the dog, the Nationals, one of the more profitable teams in MLB. 4 games under 500, but yet plus 11 units on the season. They have lost 3 straight games, though, guys. And it reminds me, they played at Colorado, then they went to San Diego. So going from a mile high to sea level, and sure enough, it affected their bats. That's something that I have down in my notes. When a team leaves Colorado, look to fade them. Washington fell into that in their last series. We'll see if they can bounce back here. I think it's a good spot for them. Mitchell Parker, the 24-year-old, 6'4", 225-pounder, outside of his last start in that series against Colorado, he's been terrific. He's a guy I'm looking to be betting on. He's up against Eflin here for the Rays. Not bad overall, 4.20 ERA, 7 earned in his last 2 starts. So but when you go back about a month and a half, he has no wins, meaning he's not going deep into the games when the team wins, the Rays win. So I'm kind of going to ride that trend here, guys. I think Mitchell Parker is the better starter. I think Washington is a dog. It's been a great bet. Slight bullpen edge as well. They've been hitting the ball a little bit better. Tough to go against the Rays in the Trop, but that's more so in past years, guys. They're actually under 500 this year at home. That's not normal for this squad. So we'll ride that trend as well. Let's start off with a pretty sizable dog here. That's the Washington Nationals, plus 138. Next one up, Baltimore Orioles hosting the Texas Rangers. 7:05 Eastern start. It's Max Scherzer going for the Rangers, making his second start of the season up against Albert Suarez going for the O's. Baltimore minus 130, home favorite, 8 in the hook being the total. Texas comes in, the defending World Series champions, but under 500. They just lost 3 straight to the Brewers. They're also 7 games under 500 on the road. They've had struggles outside of Arlington, and they're going up against one of the best teams in baseball in the Baltimore Orioles, 20 games over 500, just under a game back behind the Yankees in the AL East standings. Suarez, the 34-year-old Venezuelan here, starting for the Orioles. He has a home-road dichotomy of 1.88 ERA at home and almost a 3.5 ERA on the road. So for whatever reason, in Camden Yards, he's been pitching better. We're going to kind of ride that trend here. And a bigger reason why is Max Scherzer. Yes, great career. He's a bulldog out there. He's a guy I like to root for. But the fact is, he's making the second start of his season. And in his first start, he went 5 innings just giving up 1 hit. But that was against the ice-cold Royals lineup. He's taken a big step up in class here. And even more importantly, his velocity was down 2 miles per hour from last season's average. So I think Baltimore is going to take advantage of that, guys. This is the second best overall lineup for the full season, second hottest over the last week by weighted runs created plus. They've smashed righties, big bullpen edge here towards the home team. I think the 30 cents is short, guys. Let's jump on the Orioles, minus 130 over the Rangers. We'll head north of the border for our next matchup here. AL East battle between the top and the bottom of the division. That's the Toronto Blue Jays going with Yusel Kikuchi on the hill, the lefty, up against Marcus Stroman for the Bronx Bombers. Minus $1.25. That's the Yankees as the road favorite. 8 in a hook being the total. Yanks come in, 22 games over 500, plus 12 units on the season. They've been a great bet. But right now, what have you done for me recently? They've lost, 7 of 8? I'm actually doing the video. They're down to the Blue Jays late in that one. So they've lost 6 of 7, likely 7 of 8 here. And they got Stroman on the hill. He's been up and down this season, 40 walks year to date, and a strikeout to walk ratio over his last 4 starts of just 12 to 11. That's not a guy I'm looking to bet on, at least those numbers. Kikuchi going for the Jays, 3.5 FIP, 86 to 20 strikeout to walk ratio. This Jays lineup has hit a lot better. They got the bullpen edge. I mean, mainly because the Yankees pen has had all sorts of issues. Toronto's been playing better at home. They're now 500 at home on the season. It's getting crunch time for the Blue Jays. I mean, if they're really going to make a push here into the playoffs, this is a big series for them. Hosting the Yankees should be great atmosphere there in Rogers Center. Let's go with the home dog, plus 105. That's on the Jays over the Yankees. Heading to New York, Citi Field to be exact. New York Mets hosting the Houston Astros. Ronel Blanco going for the Stros. Jose Quintana, the lefty, going for the Metropolitans. 8.5 being the total. Minus 120. That's the Astros as the road favorite. The Stros come in 500 on the season, hot right now. Winners of 7 straight. Both teams are off of a bye yesterday. The Mets are also 500 on the season. They've won 3 straight, 15-4 their last 19. So 2 hot teams facing off here. Quintana, the lefty, the 35-year-old Colombian, 4.5 ERA for the Mets. Back-to-back 6+ inning starts, just 1 earned in his last 2 starts. So he's riding a hot hand here. And Blanco going for the Stros, 30-year-old Dominican hurler, 2 earned runs in his last 20 innings. 2.3 ERA for the season. So both pitchers hot, both pitchers having a good season overall, and both teams riding winning streaks. So this is a tough bet here, guys. We've just been riding the Mets, and they've been great against righties. They've obviously got this winning streak going. Nothing against the Astros. This isn't one that I love overall, but getting the Mets at home. And last thing here, guys, the Astros, they're on the negative side of the lefty-righty matchup in terms of they're the 11th best lineup by my numbers against southpaws, and they're a top 5 lineup against righties. They're up against the southpaw here in Quintana, so I think they struggle. I like the Mets in this one, guys. Plus 105 at home, another home dog on the Friday night slate. Next one up, we're heading to the 8 o'clock Eastern hour to Milwaukee for the Chicago Cubs and the Milwaukee Brewers. Another top of the division with the Brewers against the bottom of the division now. That is the Cubs. Cubs going with Jameson Taillon on the hill up against Colin Ray for the Brew Crew. Brewers minus 130 home favorites, 8 in the hook being the total. Chicago just 37-44 on the season, and they have lost 4 of 5. They're just 9-17 in the division, and the Brewers, talked about it, top of the standings here. They're 48-33, 15 games over 500, up double digits unit-wise in terms of betting on them. They've been great at home. Both teams off of the bye. All of that would point you towards the Brewers here. I mean, especially because it's just minus 130. However, I think that number is very telling here, guys. And it's really about Colin Ray, the Brewers starter. We actually talked about his game, I think it was 2 days ago, and he got scratched in that one. And we were looking to fade him. And the reason being his velocity has dropped from 94 miles per hour to 92 miles per hour in his last start. And sure enough, he gave up 5 earned in that start and didn't have any strikeouts. The Brewers organization actually pushed back his start a couple days, and now here we are. We're still going to look to fade him. Now, maybe the extra rest gives him a little bit that velocity back. I'm not going to bet on it here, guys. I think he gets knocked around by the Cubs offense. I like this kind of profile, fading guys that saw a velocity drop in their last start. It could speak towards an injury. Either way, I think we get an advantage early on in this one. And we get Taillon on the hill for the Cubbies, 32-year-old out of Woodlands, Texas. He's averaged 6.1 innings in his last 3 starts combined, just 3 earned runs total in his last 3 starts. His ERA now sub-3. I like this kid when he's on the hill. Hey, let's jump on the Cubs here, really fading Colin Ray, the Brewers pitcher. But we're going to just list Jameson Taillon as the starter. It will be action for Milwaukee if they end up going a bullpen game. But all of that, we are on the Cubs over the Brewers. 8:10 Eastern for our next matchup, Cleveland Guardians, Kansas City Royals. Alex Marsh on the hill for the Royals. Tristan McKenzie on the hill for the Guardians. Guardians minus 120, the consensus number, total of 9 in Kansas City. Guys, Cleveland, winners of 7 of their last 8, 51-27 on the season, one of the best records in baseball. They got McKenzie on the hill. This is a tough handicap, McKenzie, because at times he's been rough. He has 8 walks his last 2 starts and only 6 strikeouts. Don't love that profile. But when you look overall, I mean, Cleveland's scoring runs when he's on the hill. And sometimes that just happens game after game, start after start. They're actually 11-4 when McKenzie takes the hill. He's the 5th most profitable pitcher in Major League Baseball. He doesn't go all that deep, but it kind of translates into why Cleveland is so good. At least one of the reasons, it's because of their bullpen. Best bullpen in baseball over the last 5 weeks. And the Royals bullpen has had all kinds of issues, bottom 5 over the last 5 weeks. We talked about their lineup being ice cold, bottom 2 in Major League Baseball over the last week. And Marsh on the hill, he hasn't been great shakes either. 10 earned runs in his last 2 starts. I think Cleveland gets to him, guys, and we can get a low water mark here. Heading into the overnight markets, minus 116, risk 116 to win 100. I think that number's short. Let's jump on the Cleveland Guardians, top of the division, over the Kansas City Royals. We got 2 games left here, guys. Heading out to the West Coast. Smash that like button if you're liking the content. Drew's Daily Diamond going live on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. Check out Premium Picks, experts page Drew Martin. And we got the promo code here, Drew7 at checkout. MLB for a week for less than $50. You see it right there on your screen. Next one up, Southern California, Detroit Tigers, LA Angels. Kenta Maeda going for the Tigers. Zach Plesac going for the Halos. 8 in the hook being the total, minus 120. That's the Tigers as the road favorite. Maeda, the 36-year-old Japanese-born pitcher, 6 ERA on the season for the Tigers. Last time out, he gave up 8 hits against the White Sox, arguably the worst lineup in baseball. So he's taken a step up in class here. He's up against Zach Plesac, I believe the nephew of Dan Plesac for the MLB Network. But either way, 29-year-old out of Ball State, 6 earned runs last time out, but that was against the Dodgers. He's taken a step down in class. It's only his 3rd start of the season. But the Angels have won 3 straight games, guys. They're hitting the ball a little bit better. They've been better against righties as well. And getting a plus price here at home. Detroit's lost 4 straight road games. They've scored only 3 runs total in those 4 road games. So their bats have been a little bit quiet, particularly when they're on the road. And Maeda's had all kinds of issues. So that's going to put us on another home dog here, plus 102. Risk 100 to win 102. On the Angels. Got 1 game left. West Coast night action here in a rivalry game. San Francisco Giants, LA Dodgers. We get Landon Knack on the hill for the Dodgers. Logan Webb on the hill for the Giants. 7.5 being the total, minus 110. That's the Dodgers as the road favorite. Dodgers come in 20 games over 500. They've been great on the road. 11 games over 500 on the road. They've won 4 straight. Off of an off day yesterday for rest. If you don't know much about Knack, their starter here, 26-year-old 2nd rounder out of East Tennessee State University, 2.1 ERA, 5 starts. He's been consistent, never more than 2 earned runs. Now he's up against Logan Webb here. Great pitcher overall, put together a heck of a career, 3.1 ERA on the season. But the thing against the lineup he's facing here, he only lasted 3.2 innings, didn't make it out of the 4th inning last time he faced the Dodgers, 5 earned runs. He also gave up 9 hits his last time out to the Cardinals, so recently hasn't been all that great, and past performance against the lineup he's going to be seeing, very good lineup in the Dodgers, he has struggled. So overall, guys, I think this number's short. Dodgers, how often do we get to bet them at minus 110? Not very often. They get the bullpen edge. They've smashed righties, number 1 lineup overall. Lay the 110 to win the 100 on the Dodgers late night, guys. We got the recap here. And, hey, do want to say a special thanks to everybody that commented yesterday. It was my birthday show. Wish we had more winners, but it meant a lot in the comments below. And I was in there responding to you guys. So, hey, it helps the algorithm out as well. But from the bottom of my heart, thanks for all the birthday wishes. Cool to see this show growing. And feel free to fire away whatever you'd like in the comments below. And smash that like button if you're liking the content, guys. But in recap here, we got the Dodgers, minus 110 late night. Also late night here in LA. We're on the home dog Angels, plus 102. We got the Cleveland Guardians, minus 116 over the Royals. We get the Cubs, plus 120 over the Milwaukee Brewers. We get the Mets, plus 105 over the Astros. The Blue Jays, plus 105, another home dog barking over the Yankees. Orioles minus 130 over the Rangers. And the top of the card here, we are on the Washington Nationals plus 138 over the Rays to start off the weekend, guys. That does it for Drew's Daily Diamond. We will be back for Saturday's show. Don't forget about that. Smash that like button, comment below. Cash those tickets. Thanks for tuning in.